Hi there, welcome to Monetize Your Business podcast conversations in partnership with FNB. This week we are bringing you a fabulous entrepreneur. Her name is Pontso Dibakwane, and she is a go-getter within her field, really helping us to perfect and look after our natural crowns. So I'm very, very much looking forward to the conversation that we're having with her. But you know how we do. Let me not rush things. I've got my trusted co-pilot with me who is engaging in the conversation with us. Papa Biz, how are you?
No, I'm good. I'm looking forward to what we're going to discover here. I suspect there's a lot of areas around retail that we can take lessons from and innovation. But Pontso will let us know a bit more in relation to that.
Absolutely, and manufacturing as well. If you're an entrepreneur that is making your own product or looking to make your own product, then this is definitely going to be the conversation for you. Pontso, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you for having
Welcome,
me,
Pontso.
Hattie. Thank you, Papa. I'm really honored and thank you. It's amazing. I'm excited.
Good. I like
Wonderful.
it.
In fact, one of the first things I noticed about you was your beautiful crown of hair.
Thank you
I was
so
like,
much.
wow.
Thank you
And
so
it's
much.
amazing that you've made that into a business. So I'm looking forward to us unpacking that a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yes.
But of course, before we do that, I think it's good for our audience to know who Pontso is. Can you tell us a little bit about where you come from and just your early upbringing, just to give us a bit of context about this beautiful woman that's sitting in front of us?
Well, thank you. Yes, I am raised in Mamelodi. I
Oh,
come
nice.
from
Okay.
I'm a Pretoria girl.
Okay.
I grew up there and further my studies in Johannesburg. So I've been in between cities, Pretoria and Johannesburg. I I grew up alone, unfortunately. But then later on, I have a sister. We were
Okay.
blessed with a beautiful young lady at home.
Yes.
Yeah, I am a mother to a 13-year-old boy. He's very
lovely.
handsome, and I can say that I'm a very charismatic girl.
Cool.
Love that.
My inspiration comes from the Holy Spirit, and
Oh,
I
good.
try to maintain that, day in and day out. It is the leading of the Holy Spirit that actually gets me here and to be
Yes.
where I am today.
I love that.
Yeah, so I got employed. As we grow, I got employed, but I've always been an entrepreneur in heart. I've never been a person who wanted to conform to sitting behind the desk
Yep.
in the office. I've always wanted to know how much is in my boss's bank account.
Yeah. So
Hey.
you can be the boss.
Exactly. And especially because of the money that we were making for the companies that I was working for. And I was like, no, I really need to know, how the system works, how to do it and everything. So later on in my life, I then moved to Johannesburg. And that's when now I discovered that, you know what, I really have to do this.
Yes.
I can't stop right now. I have to push myself. So I studied information technology
Okay.
and did project management with Damelin and further did business management with UJ.
Okay.
So, in my journey, it has always been so daunting in my spirit that
This
I
isn't
cannot
it.
be sitting behind the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to fight through the odds and everything.
Yep.
And later on, I think my push was COVID-19,
Oh, that was your push.
the pandemic.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
2019, I was in corporate.
Yeah.
And during my time there, I realized that, we are so trying to fit in, especially
Yes.
as Black women.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was just not working for me. However, one thing that really got me to be where I am today was the most embarrassing moment ever. So I'm going to share with you the story.
This is a safe space.
Yes. So I had a meeting with a board of members. And because I was in Joburg, my hairdresser is in Pretoria.
Ah.
So my hair was so messed up, and I was like, okay, fine, let me just get some ladies to braid my hair. And mind you, I've never braided my hair before.
Yes.
Because I used to be a relaxer girl with a bob cut and everything. So I decided to braid my hair for the first time. I don't know after how many years. And can I tell you that it was the most horrific experience
Really?
No.
ever? Because number one, my
Yes.
scalp was not used to the fiber
Yes.
of the braids.
Yes.
And it was itchy. So I got the itch, and nothing could actually help the itch. I tried
Yes.
everything, the hairsprays. I bought the oils and stuff. Nothing was helping me. Mind you, I have a meeting.
Yo.
With the board.
So with the board, and so I then went to Eastgate. I'm like, you know what, let me rush to Eastgate, find
Yeah.
a salon, maybe get somebody to wash my hair quickly. I went to a salon. This salon was an all-white salon.
Yo.
And they said, no, they can't do anything
They
for
can't
me.
do anything with your hair.
And then I went to another salon which looked like, okay, this one is an African salon. The lady told me to wash my hair. It's going to cost me plus minus 300 rands. And I had already paid for my braids, which were like almost $1,000, you
Yeah.
know. And then I was like, you know what? I don't live far from my workplace. Let me just rather go home, shower again, and then go back
Try
to
and
work.
get some water in
I'm
it.
telling you, I washed my hair. And then when I got to the office, guess what? The braids were not dry. And you have a meeting, and
Yes,
water
and
was
you're
still
dripping.
dripping.
Ah,
My shirt was wet, my face was wet, and it looked as if I was sweating. You know?
sweating bullets.
Sweating bullets, and everybody was like, are you okay? And I was like, oh guys, I'm sorry, I look like a mess. But that really got me to a point whereby I was like, why can't I just be myself?
Yes.
You know,
yes.
carry
Why
my,
all the stress?
Yes, why all the stress? Then I started, you know, doing research. I went and I checked what is wrong with me. And the issue with what I had was that I didn't know how to take care of my hair.
Yes.
Wow, look at that.
Yes.
I relied on salons and hairdressers, and therefore I got to a point where I was like, okay, fine, let me see if I start to learn
Yeah.
on how to take care of my own hair. Where is it going to lead me?
Exactly.
I started looking, you know, the first place we go is YouTube.
Yeah.
Went to YouTube, looked at these tutorials that tell you take an avocado and a banana, honeys and all of that. You start mixing. But those stuff don't work.
Yeah.
I tell ladies all the time, eat your avocado, eat your banana. Don't waste your grocery on,
Yes.
on your hair.
By pulling
Eat
it on your hair.
But then I started going on Udemy.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I was learning about the anatomy of our hair.
Yes.
Our curl patterns, what can I use, what can I do? You know, I started to understand the nature of our hair. And there is actually nothing wrong with our hair. Nothing, absolutely nothing. The only challenge is that it is the how to and also using the right product.
Using the right products, yes.
Yes.
And so I started experimenting in the office, started making my little butters and giving it to the ladies, and they were buying it. And they were like, because another problem is the hairline.
Yes.
People have highways, streets, N1 on their
Yes.
foreheads.
Sure.
Yes.
There's no hairlines, and the hair is not growing.
Yeah.
There's so many factors. I remember in the early months of 2019, I then went to consult also with a doctor because I was not feeling well in my body.
Yeah.
And the doctor told me that I have iron deficiency,
Sure, look at that.
which was also caused by fibroids.
Oh, wow.
Then I noticed that, you know, there's so many factors in our bodies.
Yes.
Our health
Impacting.
is
A lot is
impacting
happening.
your skin, your hair, and everything.
Yes.
I then transitioned also to eating much more healthier
Yep.
That's good.
to balance my, you know,
Yes.
my body and everything.
Yes.
I'm telling you, ever since then, I've never struggled
Really?
with growing my hair.
Wow.
This is now my second big chop ever since I started with the hair journey. In 2020, it was now reality hits because now you have to, okay, you know, practice what you preach.
Yeah.
There's nobody, it's you against, you know, yourself. I sat down with myself and I was like, okay, where to from here? because we are home. Okay, we're working from home, but it's not enough, you know, especially personal care.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you're home, you don't really feel like doing much because you rely on salons and people braiding your hair. But then, how can I look good in the comfort of my own home?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then I gave birth to curly crowns.
Wow.
Wow.
Giving
love
birth to
that.
curly crowns, I remember this other lady coming to my house and she was like, but your house is so small. How are you going to start, you know, manufacturing? Where are you going to mix your products? And I'm like, you know what? I actually need to find a bigger apartment. I then found another apartment, which was a 3-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And I made the other room like a manufacturing.
I
Oh,
love
wow.
that.
Look at
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
You know, moving forward, you know, started selling to my family, giving people to sample the product and testing this, you know, with a business like, you know, manufacturing a product, it's a trial and error.
Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah,
can
yeah.
imagine.
It's a trial and error. It's not easy. You rely on, you know, if you don't have a formal education, especially when it comes to, you know, cosmetic formulation as it's concerned,
Yes.
you will fail.
Wow.
You know, I decided to empower myself further
Yeah.
and took another course online.
Oh, that's
Also on
brilliant.
Udemy.
Yes.
Okay.
I took another course online and I started to learn more now about
Yeah.
formulations.
Formulations.
Yes.
Okay.
Because before it was a DIY,
Yeah.
now I have to formalize it and make it proper.
Proper.
But
Especially because now you've actually gotten a new apartment.
Yes.
There's an extra room, so you've actually now committed into this.
Yes. You have to now give it a beautiful look. I started with green colors, you know, because I wanted to show myself that I'm using natural
Yes.
botanical extracts.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
and, you know, I wanted to make it much more, you know, to give it efficacy, you know, to show the ladies that, you know what, you use this product, your hair's going to grow, you're not going to have problems, it's going to help you to manage your hair easily.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I think later on, after the lockdown, when they opened for us, you know, remember,
Yes.
I met with a brother of mine, and my brother introduced me to Hendrik,
Ah, okay.
my mentor. I call him
Yes.
mentorship.
Yes, yes.
Yes, that's when now he started to tell me about how to commercialize the product. We now went into, you know, seeking assistance from, you know, government institutions.
Yes.
And moving forward, I didn't even know that I had to have the product tested. I just thought I just make it at home.
Yes.
And you're good to go.
I didn't even know I had to, you know. I started to grow, and I don't want to lie to you. I really fought. I fought for this product to be where it is today.
Yes.
And I really appreciate the support from
That you've
family.
received, yeah.
My mom,
Wow.
my dad, you know, they've been my pillar. And unfortunately, during that process, that's when now our company closed down.
Oh, wow.
And guess what? I am faced with myself. Now I have to employ myself.
Yes.
Wow, look at that.
yes.
You know?
And
That's
be in
scary.
this full time.
Yes, I had
That's
to
scary.
employ myself. I did that, you know, and I'm telling you, it's something else when you see someone getting up in the morning going to work, but when you have to get up and work for yourself,
For yourself.
it's a different
Yes.
game ball on its own.
Quite emotional as well.
It is emotional because remember the first couple of years, you don't have a salary.
Yeah, you're trying to make things work and figure things out.
Yes, you know,
Sure.
there's no salary. I had to now push through the odds. And I don't want to lie, I really thank God also for our government. The support that they're giving us as entrepreneurs,
Oh,
it's
wow.
amazing. However, I still say to other entrepreneurs, don't wait for the government
100%.
to put something on your table. If you have it, go sell it.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
make samples, invest in your company. I took everything, every cent I had, put it in their company, and I was pushing. You know, there is not a day whereby I feel bad, in fact, if a day goes by and I have not sold anything.
Of course.
Yes. And, but one thing I also came to realize is that what is the point of telling these young women, young ladies that here's a nice product, it's going to help you grow your hair,
Yeah.
It's going to help you look so beautiful, but they don't know how to take care of their hair as well.
That's also true.
Yes, because that's it, especially natural hair.
Especially natural hair. So it comes with me now having to educate them on how to wash the hair, how to detangle your hair. But now using the product, it adds more value because now it's going to be made easier.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
You see?
100%.
Yes. So I'm happy to say that we are growing.
Okay.
Yes. Currently onboarding on Take a Lot.
Oh, wow, look at
Hey,
that.
well done.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes. Now almost, busy with lab facilities.
Okay.
Whereby we're going to manufacture properly,
Okay.
not using the backyard.
Yes.
So yeah, and even with like last year, I went to Nelson Mandela University
Oh, wow.
to study cosmetic formulation as
Wow,
well.
look at that.
Like when you are passionate about something, you
Yes.
just have to
You have
put
to
in the work.
educate yourself,
You
get
educate
the knowledge.
yourself
Yes.
all the time, every day. There's not a single day whereby I don't go to sleep without reading a book, a quote,
Good.
or something.
Good.
Because I realize that we are living in a space whereby people just want things to happen
Sure.
quickly.
And that's not how it works. Hey?
And it's not how it works,
Yeah,
but you
yeah.
have to empower yourself on a daily basis.
100%.
So moving into those kind of spaces, it did not come because you just prayed and then it fell down on your lap.
Yes.
It's you now working towards it
100%.
and knocking on those doors.
Yes.
I'm telling you, if you do not knock, nothing's going to come to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm still blessed to have both, my parents alive,
Oh, wow. That's
Wow.
wonderful.
who are like my pillar,
Yes, and
whenever
supporting you.
they're supporting, and my family and friends and my colleagues. I remember there was this one girl, she used to laugh at me when I was melting the butters on my stove. And she was like, "You're going to blow up the house. You're turning your house into a chemical,
Yeah.
dangerous area." And I'm telling you, for me, looking back, I really thank myself for pushing through, for not giving up. It's you cannot wake up and be a success overnight.
Yes, yes, yes.
But I tend to be a person who kind of differs sometimes with the norm. I've never wanted to be an ordinary person.
Yes, yes, yes.
I've always thought myself very highly.
Yes.
And if I had to be given a jet plane to fly, I would want to know how to do it.
Yes.
I'm
yes,
that kind of person.
Yes.
And so I came to a point whereby I had to sit down and really, really reinvent myself.
Reinvent, yeah.
Yes, I had to reinvent myself. And for me to have a nice product, yes, I'm happy, but it also goes with you as well, the
Yes.
person behind it, Having said that, I was listing each and every thing that I did on a daily basis
Okay.
to notice where are my errors.
Okay.
Okay.
If
so
I
you
s-
can improve.
So that I can improve.
Yeah.
If I am mixing my product without consulting my formulation, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna fail. If I'm doing something without consulting what my plans are,
Yes.
it's not gonna work.
100%.
So in each and everything that you do, you have to make sure that you have a plan, a site plan.
Yes.
Be your own construction manager. Have a site plan. Have your measurements in place. And therefore, every time you do something, you will execute it
Yes.
perfectly.
Yes.
What I was trying to actually say was that, people say that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again
over and over.
expecting. But I don't believe in that. I believe that precision is the key. Doing the same thing over and over, you will be the consistency will get you to be an expert in something.
Yes. Yes.
Because if you do not practice, how
Yeah.
are you going to be perfect?
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love other entrepreneurs when they speak about going out in the streets. I'm inspired by that.
Wow.
I also follow suit with schools. I give out samples to little girls and little
nice.
boys, yes. I teach them how to take care of their hair.
I love that.
I've got ladies that, always asking me, what must I do?
Yes.
It's something that I enjoy even talking about. I even tell them, guys, have you checked your health? Maybe there's a problem inside of your
Inside,
body
yeah.
that's making your hair not to grow. Because it's, and even with braiding, there's
Yes.
traction, alopecia.
Yes, that pulling of the
The
hair.
pulling, and then there's alopecias as well. You have to know how to take care of your own body. And once you know how to take care of your own body, I mean, when you're using a very good product like curly crowns, your hair is not going to suffer.
Nice
Yeah.
one. And
And
this is
it's-
the curly crowns. I mean, I've seen it here
Yes.
as well, and everybody can see because I've
Lovely.
seen
Lovely packaging.
lovely
I
packaging.
like
you
it.
so
I've
Yeah.
seen this before.
Thank
And
you
I
so
wanted to
much.
ask, it's interesting, and I'll give you a little story. When you're talking about going and braiding your hair and the itching and not being used to,
Yeah.
I mean, when Hetty found me, I'd braided my hair. It was,
wow.
I'd done
Cornrows.
cornrows. And that was many moons ago, and that was not for the faint-hearted. I realized, sure, what women go through, because I couldn't survive. They'd say it would last for 2 weeks, but after 4 days, I had to take this thing out.
Yeah.
To take it out.
Yeah, but then I wanted to ask you then, in terms of, you had mentioned previously, because we get this question often, and I find it relates to people not being as aware of what's available or which door to knock.
Yes.
You mentioned that government was able to help you. In what way was that?
Well, I went to CEDA,
Okay.
and then Innovation Hub. I was incubated by the Innovation Hub.
Oh, really?
Okay, lovely.
Yes. So there, that's when I was actually refined,
Okay.
in terms of business. Because, when you know business from a work environment,
Yeah.
it's much more different from the operational side
Yes,
of it.
yes, yes.
True.
So I attended good manufacturing practices.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yes, I attended, courses like financial management, marketing.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a social media person,
Okay.
but I have to be,
Yes.
because right now it's not about me.
Yes.
It's about getting the brand out there. So those are kind of the things that I had to fix, there and there. And they were very helpful. Also now having to formalize the business,
Yes.
getting your business compliancy right.
Okay.
Because if you have a product like this and it's not properly certified, you might, if someone comes and say, hey, I used the conditioner and now I've got a bad rash, and you have to back it up with something, otherwise you'll be sued.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Yes. So you're making sure that all your ducks are in a row.
Yes,
Great.
absolutely.
Can you talk to us a little bit? I see there's some products here, and I would love to
Yes.
hear a little bit more about them, what they do, etc.
Okay, so this is my signature butter. I actually started with this.
Ah, okay.
This is a moringa leaves and avocado butter.
Ah,
And I have also a mango butter with mafura butter.
okay.
So, you laugh at me. When I started with this one, it was not an emulsion. It was not formulated properly.
I see.
So when I have to deliver it to a
Yes,
customer, because it
yes.
was just whipped,
Yes.
when it gets there, it's melted.
It's melting.
And so it was such a frustration.
Yes.
But now I got to perfect it. You can have this. You can even put it in your microwave. It won't melt.
Yes, okay.
But it's a proper emulsion
Yeah.
with natural botanicals. What I love about these ingredients is that they assist in hair growth and they heal your hair follicles to
Oh, nice.
promote new growth.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
yes.
Lovely, lovely. And moringa is always so good. It's
Yes.
got so many benefits.
It's got so many benefits,
Yeah.
and why not actually put it in a product
Yes.
so that it can actually give good results?
Good.
Yes.
And this is
100%.
one of my conditioner. It's a coconut and rosemary. Coconut,
rosemary, nice.
yes, rosemary has been, proven to also being very effective in terms of hair growth
Okay.
and also strengthening your hair strands. Healing also your challenges, like some people have rash,
Yes.
and ingrowth.
Okay.
So this one, it's going to assist in purifying your scalp
Purifying.
as well. Coconut is also a healing property.
Okay.
Very natural. There's less. What I try to do is move away from the conventional way of making products, but to keep them a little bit more natural.
More
Yes.
natural.
Of course, we have to preserve. That is not a lie, but we try to use natural preservatives
Okay.
Yes.
so that you can have this conditioner and butter longer
Yes.
but don't take too long.
Yes.
So
Yes. You
use
must
it every day.
Yes.
Okay. No, very good.
And if you notice that my containers are a little bit bigger,
Yeah.
as you can see, my conditioner is very large.
Yeah.
It's because our hair needs lots and lots of product.
Yes, yes, yes.
So you can't just use like
So
a
we mustn't be
tinsel
stingy.
Don't be stingy.
Okay.
Use the product and
Yes.
finish it, and then come back and take some more.
Yes.
Good,
Yes.
good. I like it.
Lovely, lovely.
Yes, I also have a clarifying shampoo.
Okay.
Yes, the shampoo also cleanses your hair, your scalp of impurities, and if you have product buildup, because with the butters and the oils, your hair can get really heavy. So the clarifying shampoo cleanses your scalp and your hair, but not stripping off your natural moisture. So your hair will not be too dry
Yes.
after washing, but it will just be squeaky clean.
Yeah.
And then you can come back and condition and moisturize again.
Love
That's
it.
cool.
Love
Yes.
it.
Now, I
Yes.
wanted to check, in South Africa, I haven't looked into it as much. There's a few type of players in the market in this type of space. How do you look to go about separating yourself or making yourself different?
I'm really glad you asked that because I took it upon myself to check what's on the shelves. What's on the shelf is not really for us.
Okay.
Okay, why am I saying that? Most of the products that we have that are natural hair care, they're all manufactured overseas. And remember, our environment is not the same.
It's not the same. The weather.
The weather is not the same.
True.
And our curl patterns are not the same.
Yes.
And the sun is not the same. So this caters to African hair.
Okay.
It's locally manufactured. Therefore, when I did this, I understand our climate.
100%.
You have to check with
yes.
environmental analysts to check your climate and what actually works better
Okay.
under our sun. That's what makes this product really, really work better.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, that's fantastic. I'm so inspired by your journey. I think that the fact that you were able to take a situation where, a company closing down that you're
Yes.
working for,
Yes.
and then just being able to turn things around and say, you know what, let me try and pursue this dream of
course,
mine.
yes.
If you were speaking to an individual who's watching, who's a young version of yourself from Mamelodi or the Nkagiso and the Kailicha or Inanda somewhere, and they're thinking to themselves, I too want to start my own business. What words of advice would you give to them?
I would really say have faith in yourself.
Yeah.
Number one, work inside. Once you have worked inside, what's going to come out is limitless. We are so influenced by so many things around us. Be a problem solver. Look around. What problem can you solve? What can you do? There is absolutely no way that you cannot do anything.
Yeah.
And don't give up.
Yes.
I know it sounds so cliche, but people will tell you, I don't have help. I don't have, parents. I don't have people supporting me. But you have us. I have you today. I have Papa today.
Yep.
So I'm not here by mistake.
Yep.
Yes.
But if I did not push this, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have met you guys today.
Wow, look at that.
100%.
yes.
That's very true.
So get up, go out there, ask around, speak to people. Even if they're going to laugh at you, it's okay. You know that you have an inspiration and you want to do something. You want to make
Yep.
a difference. You cannot make a difference while watching Netflix.
Hey, say it again.
Yo,
You
that's
know?
a powerful statement.
Yes.
And so true.
Yes, they're already making their money. And so I prefer people watch me and get your inspiration from there.
Good.
Don't conform to the standards of the world.
Yes.
Dare to be different.
Yes.
If it means you have to sell soil, package it nicely,
Good.
put color on it,
Yeah.
and go sell soil
Yeah.
to tourists and put it at the airport. People will buy it. It is what you bring, how you bring it, how you deliver it. And never, ever, ever underestimate the power of thinking. Sitting down with yourself and thinking things through, I promise you, the answers are already there. You know, you don't have to look up someone else's business. You yourself, you can
Yes.
be your own business,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Papa Biz, I've gotten so much insights and nuggets from Pontso today. Maybe share with us what has been your biggest takeaways from today's conversation.
It's a few things, you know, actually, you know, your passion. It's not something that, it's something to be commended and for people to carry through. And where that comes from, you know, we had a workshop recently. One of the questions that came through is, I've got all of these ideas. Where do I begin? I'm afraid. And you have answered that in your story in terms of basics. Find a problem that you feel you can have a solution for, that actually speaks to you. And when you take it on that basic level, you're actually able to see, okay, this is what I can start getting involved in. And what you did that I really liked is that you also didn't just work on a prayer, you invested time
Yes.
and energy in courses, and reading,
Yes.
Educating
yourself in this new area that one is going through. Because some people, when we talk to them and say, guys, just spend one evening away from Uzalo,
Oh gosh.
Hey, can you say that again?
or whatever it is, so that you can spend the
Yes.
time to be able to research on this area that you're passionate in, to be able to see, can this actually be a business? And if it is to be a business, how do I make this better?
Exactly.
That's how you're able to learn, etc. And the last part, you actually took it in terms of comparing with others in the market. It reminds me of this book that I was reading, and it spoke about how this restaurateur, to get to number one, he took all of his staff
Yes.
to the number one restaurant, and then they all discussed how to improve. And most people were talking about what the top restaurant did well. But he says, no, I want to focus on what they didn't do so well.
Yes.
Because what they didn't do so well, that's where we
Exactly.
can actually focus.
Yes.
And that's where
And be
our
better.
opportunity
Yes. Yes.
exists.
Absolutely.
And I like your approach. I think you're the living embodiment
I promise you,
of
like,
that example.
you have
and
summed
I
it up.
and I love it. I
Yeah.
love it, yeah.
Yeah. You know, you don't just decide that you're going to make the best product without actually even testing other products.
Yeah.
I promise you, I
Yeah.
bought everything and anything that was on the market so that I can come up with this.
With
Good.
that's brilliant.
You know?
I absolutely love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did. I also did the bananas and the avocados, but then I noticed that one day
Good.
you're gonna have infection on your scalp, and you know
and then that's even a bigger problem.
it's even a bigger problem.
Yeah.
So rather let's test what's out there so that we can come back and make
Yes.
ours better.
Be competitive.
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pontsho, if somebody's watching and they're thinking they would love to connect with you, you're such an inspirational entrepreneur. Your story is really quite remarkable. Or they would like to even purchase Curly
Yes.
Crowns. How do they get in contact with you?
We have a WhatsApp number. It's 073 273 1424. They can get our products either by ordering online as well. As I mentioned that very soon, in a couple of days probably, I'll be on Take A Lot, you know. And on social media as well, it's Curly Crowns _SA.
Okay.
Yes. And yeah, we deliver everywhere. There's no barrier.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Pontso. It's
Thank
been
you.
such a wonderful conversation. I think
Thank
my
you so
biggest
much.
takeaway is the fact that you are embodying your brand.
Yes.
You've got a beautiful head of
Thank
curly
you.
crown.
Thank
and
you.
I think it's really beautiful. And it's just a reminder that whatever business you're in, be a walking representation
Yes.
of that. And I
Absolutely.
think that's really fantastic.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You are most welcome. Monetizers, that brings us to yet another end of a wonderful podcast conversation. It's really been truly inspiring. Please share with us within the comment section what stood out for you the most, any aha moments that you got from the conversation. Make sure that you plug into all of our social media platforms. It's at Monetize Your Business. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any future conversations that we have. Until the next episode,
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.